Welcome to Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I'm so glad you joined me today. Let's get started. Today, I finally wrote down some of the things I'm going to do to get started with the Trim Healthy Mama plan. And but first, I wanted to go over a few things that'll be coming up on my channel and my podcast. I haven't abandoned the DNA side of it, I promise. It's just been really busy with the holidays. I haven't had a whole lot of time to devote to that. And every once in a while I hit a brick wall and I have to take a break and step away. And then when I come back to it, I usually make some sort of breakthrough. And I'm hoping that'll be the case this time. Also, Ancestry just came out with some new Pro Tools. I've heard mixed reviews about them. A lot of people, you have to pay extra, and it's not like we don't already pay enough. Thankfully, I paid for the 6-month subscription, so I'm good till March. But I don't know why they're charging extra for these things, but they are, and I've heard a lot of people say, I just downloaded them for a month, did what they did, and then I canceled it. So I am going to at least do that, and when I do, I will get on here and do a video over all of those. Maybe tips on how to use them, what good they can tell you, what if they're even any good or worth getting. But it's only $10 for 1 month, so I will be doing that soon. Once I get my house back in order. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll have that coming up, and then I'll definitely be detailing my Trim Healthy Mama journey. I've also wanting to, and I got started a little bit, but it's the holidays, so it's busy. But decluttering my house, so I might have a few videos about that. I've been watching Dana K. White. She has a channel called Slob Comes Clean, and she has a whole like decluttering. She's got books on it, and she's got a method. And from the videos that I've watched on YouTube of hers, it sounds like she and I think alike. I tend to get an emotional attachment to things, and her method takes the emotions out of it, which is what I need. And so yeah, I will be doing some videos on that as well. Yeah, but before I get started on Trim Healthy Mama, I needed to vent. I want to vent a little bit. Ugh. Like, the holidays are so hard anyway. And then you add life crap on top of that. It's a mess, right? Like, I hate some things. New Year's, we had fun. My sisters came down. One was sick. I have 3 sisters. One was sick. But the other 2 came down with their husbands and their kids, and we had lots of fun. Yeah, I won't go into any details, but we had a lot of fun. My sisters are pretty fun. So are my brother-in-laws. Me and my husband have a blast with them. So that's always a good time. We went to my uncle's house, and he's a blast too. Him and my cousin. And my aunt. They're a lot of fun. And thankfully we live right down the street from them, so we didn't have to travel very far for New Year's, which was awesome. But yeah, the thing I was going to vent about, one is how cluttery Christmas decorations feel after Christmas is over. Is anybody else like that? Like, on one hand, I'm sad there won't be all the pretty lights and the pretty tree, but on the other hand, I'm like, get this crap out of my house. right now. I want my space back. I want, is when we put up our tree, I lose my rocking chair, which is my spot. We have my husband's recliner, a couple of trays for us to keep our drinks and stuff on, and then my rocking chair. But I have to lose that when we bring the Christmas tree in, and I get shoved to the couch. And yeah, we probably need a new couch when the kids get a little older, because they've gotten it all squished and it's hurting my side to sit there. And I miss my lamp so that I can read and do ancestry work at night in the evenings. It's just been, I've missed it. And so I'm ready. Tomorrow, we were supposed to start school today, and then we didn't, because I thought I was going to be cram-packed. Today's Tuesday that I'm filming this. And we already couldn't do school yesterday because everyone was wiped out and exhausted from the weekend. And my husband was home. And so we all just laid around yesterday. And then I would have done it today. But my son had his allergy shot, jiu-jitsu class, and then I thought I was supposed to have a staff meeting, but they never texted to say that we were, so I guess I could have had school today, but I didn't think I was going to get to. So we will start next week. And tomorrow we are getting all the Christmas stuff packed back away in the shed, and I'm getting my spot back tomorrow, and I'm so excited. The other thing I wanted to vent about is, I don't know, do any of your kids take classes anywhere? Like, my son does right now, and it's supposed to be 4 classes broken up in 2 days of the week. But for the past 5 months, it's been 1 class, 1 day a week. I'm still paying for the 4 classes a week, but I'm only getting the 1 class a week, and it's driving me nuts. I finally kind of said something today. I'm going to give him a couple more weeks to, like, step it up, or I hate to pull him because he really loves it and probably needs it, but I can't keep, like, money's tight. Like, groceries are ridiculous. We just got over Christmas. We're fixing to go into birthday season for us, and yeah, I don't want to throw away money just because. So yeah, sorry, I just wanted to vent about that a little bit. Anyway, we'll get to the good stuff now. I'm so excited. I haven't had a whole lot of time today, but I did check off a few things. See, we partied. I checked off a few things in my new planner. I am so ready to get back into a routine, and then there'll be way more check marks going on there and a lot more stuff written in. I'm already behind in my Bible reading, according to this, because I forgot what day it was yesterday, and that was starting. So I will have to play catch up tonight, I guess. Sorry, that string is annoying me. So I was going back over my Trim Healthy Mama plan book, and I got an email today. I need to print it off. I got an email and said that they have a little free ebook that has like some updates that they've learned since then. I'm guessing it's mostly about how much protein you need, because that's what they've been talking on their podcast a lot about. I think that's the major tweak. Like, when they first did the plan, they didn't push what they call emails. So they break everything up. You have 2 main fuels that your body uses. Fats. They want you to eat healthy fats, of course. And then healthy carbs. And when they first did it, they didn't push the carb meals. Carbs are, so they have an S meal, which is your fats, S stands for satisfying, and E stands for energizing, and that's the carb meals. So they always say to think of your meals as a seesaw. Protein is, the thing in the middle that holds it up. And if you're having an S meal, you have your fats are higher and your carbs are lower. And if you're eating an E meal, it's the other way around. And you can have lots of greens. They have a whole list of what they call fuel pull foods, and they are neutral. They're neither high in carbs or high in fat, and usually you can have almost as much as you want of those things. So like adding in lots of green leafy vegetables to things will give your body nutrients and help fill you without raising your blood sugar. Everything is about blood sugar balance and trying to get your body to use just one fuel at a time, because if you give it both, it'll take the one that's easiest for it to process first and store the other one, and then that's what causes you to gain weight. And so anyway, they've been, I know through things that I've read and podcasts I've watched, that since the plan came out, that they've learned how important the emails really are, and they want you to include a lot more of those. Especially if, like me, you have thyroid issues like Hashimoto's and things like that, your body really needs the healthy carbs. And for protein, you need so much. Like, I need to print off the free ebook because I need to know exactly how much. And I think they tell you, I know they tell you in the podcast. And then they have a new book coming out called Trim Healthy Wisdom that I cannot wait for it to come out, because I want my hands on all the latest information. I'm trying to set myself up for success in this, and I have gone, all in before. I don't stay on very long with that. I am learning lately that if I will change one little habit, make it a new habit and stick with it. Like, I've never been a person that washes my face before bed, but I have done it for months now. And I'm so proud of myself because I've kept it up. And no matter what time, I mean, even when it was this weekend and I didn't get home till almost 2 o'clock in the morning, I still washed my face before I went to bed. So I'm learning that if I take one little thing and I change that instead of focusing on everything I have to change all at once, that I can do that and I can stick with things. I used to let myself believe that I couldn't, but I know now that I can, and I'm going to do that with this. For two reasons. One, because my brain and I just kind of work that way. And then two, I don't want to go blow a bunch of money on groceries and then just to only use half of them and fail. I don't want to do that. That isn't wise. So I'm going to set myself up for success. I wrote down several breakfast ideas that I would actually make and I would actually do, so that I can, first steps first, get on plan with breakfast. And then I will do a video when I come up with more lunch ideas, and probably the same time I do lunches, I'll do dinners. Lunch is my hardest one, honestly. I tend to just eat nachos because it's just the quickest and easiest thing. I don't know. That's just my go-to for some reason. Sometimes I don't even want them, but it's what's there. Not like the liquid cheese, but the shredded cheese on the chips with homemade beans and some jalapenos. But it is not, healthy to eat that every day. So I'm going to try to come up with some new ideas. But lunch is the hardest thing. Because when we're homeschooling or we're busy, it's the thing, I want to just be able to mindlessly go eat it, get something to eat. And that's what nachos is for me. It doesn't take any brain power to make those. And so I want to get a couple of things down. If I've eaten nachos for lunch for the many months that I have, then apparently repetition isn't my problem. So I want to find, just a couple of things that I can rotate in. And yeah. And then there's lots of good recipes there was a companion book to this one called the Trim Healthy Cookbook. And there are a lot of good dinner recipes. I've even made a few for my family before. There's one called Cowboy Grub, and everyone in my family loves that one. So I will start making some of those and adding them into the rotation, and kind of get my family a little bit on board with eating healthy. And then snacks will be the only time I snack is at night, because I don't have time to snack during the day, and I don't really need a snack. I don't really get hungry during the day very much, so I'm hoping I can stick with that. But so today I wrote down all the breakfasts that sounded good to me. I don't need a whole big variety, because, like I said, there is not a lot of variety in my diet. But I need something healthy. So I wrote down 2 S options and 2 E options. In the book, they have sections. They have what they call it drive-through Sue, and Pearl is the one that considers herself a drive-through Sue. It's where you don't have time to sit there and make homemade bread all day, or everything from scratch. And that's me. I don't want to be stuck. I'm stuck in the kitchen enough as it is. I don't want to be stuck there all day every day. So that's what this menu, they give you a whole week's worth of menu. It's just that I don't always like everything that they suggest, of course. So I just took the ones that I would like, but this is definitely the closest one to what I would do. They also have sections for, like, if you have a tight budget. I took some from that too, because I don't want to spend a ton of money on extra things. Now, I still have a lot of ingredients from the last time, and then this last sale that they did, I got a few things. So I'm actually starting out from a really good place, because I've done this before, so I don't have to. But you can do it without buying any of their products. It's just nice to have a few of them on hand, like their what is it? Collagen powder and whey protein, just things to boost your protein. And the collagen helps, especially with thyroid issues, to give you your hair thicker, your nails good. And then they also have one, if you're pregnant or nursing, they have a meal plan for that too, because you need different things than the rest of us do. So that's nice. So yeah, I had taken a lot of notes from the book. But like I said, I want to be able to really stick with this. So I'm going to get my breakfast down. I'm going to nail those down, to where I can do those without thinking so much. And then I'll move on to lunches. So the 2 S options that I wrote down for myself are probably scrambled eggs. You do 2 eggs and half a cup of egg whites. Now, I added that. That wasn't written in there, but I've listened to their podcast so much, and I do know that the 2 whole eggs with the half a cup of egg whites gives you the protein. If you have a couple pieces of bacon or a piece of sausage patty or something, that gives you enough protein for that meal for you to keep your protein level where you need, especially if you're over 40 like I am. So the 2 eggs and a half a cup of egg whites with bacon or sausage. I put with greens. I had bought this big bag the last time I did it. This big bag of kale already shredded and washed and everything. And I just chucked it in my freezer. And when I would make my scrambled eggs, I would just thaw out and throw a little bit, like a little handful of kale in there with my eggs and just scrambled it all up together. It was so good. And I'm not a big kale person, but if you do just a little bit of butter, it's an S meal, so you can have butter in there with it. You just don't go overboard, but you can put some butter in there, saute it up, and add the eggs, and it's really good. And then and you can have a little bit of on-plan bread. They do have recipes. They have what's called bread in a mug recipes, where you just whip all the ingredients up in a coffee mug and microwave it. It looks gross. It sounds like it's going to be gross, but I promise if you take it out of the mug, slice it, and stick it in a toaster with just a little bit of butter, it is so good because it's made with like nut flours, almond flour, and I can't remember the other one. It's one of the seeds, but I can't remember which one. It's so when it's toasted, it has that nutty flavor, and it's really, really good. And so that's one breakfast option, and that's if I have the time or feel like cooking, which some mornings are fine, and other mornings I really do not want to do that. So when I don't feel like cooking, the S option, and I would make these ahead as some on-plan muffins, and they have several recipes in the cookbook for muffins that are on plan. So I want to like batch cook a bunch of that on Saturday and have them ready to eat during the week. So you would eat a muffin, and you have Greek yogurt. The 000, I think, is the brand they said didn't have the sugars in it, with berries. And I think you can have up to a cup of berries, maybe half a cup of blueberries. They tend to have more natural sugars in them, I think, than the other ones. But you get to have all that, plus your coffee. And then I had written down the recipe for their coffee. I was going to share with you. They call it a trimmy, and they have a bunch of different versions. The light version will go with any of the meals and be okay. And it's, you fix your coffee. You put in 1 teaspoon of either butter or MCT oil, half a scoop of their collagen powder. You can add 1/8 a teaspoon of sunflower lecithin. There's supposed to be a lot of benefits. They talk about it in the book in detail, but there's supposed to be a lot of benefits to that. And I do still have some from the last time that I did it. So I'd probably go ahead and add that. Some stevia to sweeten it. And they have several sweeteners that they sell also that are really pure. And then they said it's optional to add a teaspoon of whey protein, if your body can handle it. And that'll just up your protein. And you can have that with any of the meals. And I have one of the little, I call it a zhuzher, but it's the little handheld blender, and I just mix all that up in a taller cup and then pour it in my coffee cup. And I might actually make me a cup of that this afternoon after I get back from picking up groceries, because it sounds really good. So yeah, you get to have all of that for an S breakfast. And I do think because I had done the plan a couple of times, I think the last time I didn't pay attention to how much you're allowed to eat, and I wasn't eating enough. And so I don't think I was getting the nourishment that my body needed, and I wasn't able to sustain anything. And so this time I want to actually make sure that I'm eating enough, and then you eat early enough that you have, I believe it's at least 3 hours in between meals. And they do that so your body has time to digest what you've eaten in one meal before you have another one. But 2, so you can switch fuels without gaining weight. So if you have an S breakfast, but you're planning on having an E lunch, so you're having high fat for breakfast and you want high carb for lunch, you want to give yourself at least 3 hours in between the meals so that you're not double fueling and then accidentally gaining weight instead of losing it. My 2 E breakfast options, which are probably gonna be what I go to more often, at least if I'm gonna cook. I would rather cook oatmeal. So they're oatmeal, and they have a few different they have a recipe called sweatpants oatmeal. It's supposed to be, so easy, like you're in comfy, like your sweatpants. And it's actually pretty good. It's just with cinnamon and a little bit of almond milk or cashew milk, whatever you have, and MCT oil, I believe. Oh no, coconut oil in hot water, and you mix it, and then you pour it over that at the last minute and stir it all together, and it makes it really creamy, and it is really, really good. So you can have oatmeal with Greek yogurt and berries, and then half a piece of fruit. So it's like half an orange, maybe half a banana. They're really high in sugar though, so I've watched that. But yeah, that sounds really filling. I mean, just the oatmeal itself would fill me up, but you're not going to get the protein that you need. They started selling a protein powder called Essential Aminos that's supposed to give you the full chain of amino acids, which is apparently what your body needs to actually build muscle and keep your hormones balanced and things like that. A lot of stuff they're going to talk about in the new book. I've just heard bits and pieces from the podcast, but they said, if you didn't want to add the Greek yogurt to it, that you could just take whatever the serving is of their amino acids, put it in some water and down it, and then you've got your protein, but you didn't have to eat the Greek yogurt to go with it. The second E option was chocolate waffles with strawberries. That sounds so good. I've never made any of their waffles or pancakes, and they have recipes in the cookbook. But chocolate waffles with strawberries, that just sounds really yummy. So again, I would make all that ahead on Saturday. So I might make a batch of muffins and a batch of waffles on Saturday and freeze them so that I have just something I can grab. Because like Tuesday mornings when I have to take my son to get his allergy shot, I don't have a ton of time. Sunday mornings I don't have a lot of time because I'm getting ready for church. So I need quick options there. But I would rather eat a healthy, quick option. So you have the chocolate waffles with the strawberries. I thought it said you could have more with that, but I could be wrong. I don't know which page I saw that on. But they also... No, I guess it is just chocolate waffles with strawberries. There must be a lot in the chocolate waffles. You can also, like if you get tired of the chocolate waffles, they have recipes for, like a pineapple upside down cake, their version of that. And then they have one called Bust-A-Myth banana cake. And so you can have a piece of either one of those as your E option also. With your coffee. And so that is what I'm going to do to get started. And I will let you know next week how that is going for me. I will also give an update on the decluttering, because since we can't do school this week, like I said, tomorrow I am focusing on getting Christmas stuff out of here. Then Thursday and Friday I am hoping to get to declutter something. My pantry is what I want, especially with starting Trim Healthy Mama. I need to know what all I have and what I don't have, and I want room. Right now I have like excess groceries sitting around, hiding behind things on one of the trays in my kitchen. And I don't want it to be like that. I want everything to fit in. I have a tiny, tiny pantry. I mean, compared to the house I lived in before, I'm thankful to have this. But it is, it's just some shelves back in the wall with doors over them. But if I could keep it decluttered and get stuff out that is either expired or I'm never going to use, then I would have a lot more room. So that is on the agenda for Thursday and Friday. Whatever I can get decluttered, I'm getting decluttered. And then I will let you know how all of that goes. And probably, hopefully this weekend, I can start using those DNA tools. And if you are interested in seeing how those work, I will check those out and let you know how those are. So I'll do a video over that coming up in the next week or two. Also, I wanted to say I would love to help anyone that is interested in finding out more about your own personal ancestry, whether it's that you were adopted and you'd like to know who your real parents were, or if you're like my husband's family and they had a mystery in the family, as long as it isn't too far back. This was my husband's great-grandfather, and I was able to solve that. If you have a family mystery you'd like help with, or even if you just, you got a DNA kit for Christmas and you want to know kind of what does any of this mean, how do I interpret this, how do I use this, I would love to help you. My contact information is in the description box on the video. If you go to my website, lifeanddna.com, it's all there too. Or you can find me on Instagram, Life and DNA with Amanda Renee, and just leave me a comment. I would love to help people. I mean, that's what I want to do when my kids graduate and move out of the house. That's what I want to do. So if anybody would like help with that, I would be super excited to help you. Because I am looking for another mystery to solve. I would love to do that. It was a lot of fun. So yeah. But thanks for sticking with me today, and hopefully I didn't rant too much. I will keep you updated on my Trim Healthy Mama journey and my decluttering journey and everything going on with Ancestry, and I will see you back here next week. Thank you for joining me today on Life and DNA with Amanda Renee. I will see you back here next week, and we'll discuss more Trim Healthy Mama, DNA, decluttering, and just whatever's going on in life. I will talk to you next week. Bye.